thank you so much for tuning into the channel. It's Romy here. If you have a Leo sun, rising or moon, then this reading for the month of September may well resonate for you. My readings are a blend of working with the tarot energies, checking out the astrological influences and working with my guides. So hopefully this soul story will resonate for you. If it does, please do drop me a like and a comment. Make sure you leave me your feedback and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So let's jump right in and see what September has in store. Okay, Leo, so Virgo season is lighting up your second house of value. And this nice earth energy, this earth medicine is going to help you to step out and to really be able to demonstrate a lot of the changes that have been taking place quietly behind the scenes, and allow you to now apply that in a really meaningful way so that you can set your store out in terms of the deliverance of the tangible, and the real. And what we're actually going to be inviting in through this month of September is the reward that has perhaps felt stuck, held back, restricted, limited, and kind of had you on this real endurance test, sort of waiting patiently to see if something was going to work, if something was going to come to fruition, if you were going to be able to realize a certain path or a dream or an idea that you had for yourself. We open up your reading with the Ace of Pentacles, so a beautiful reminder that what's showing up, what's taking seed, what you should start to see emerging this season will give you some confidence, okay? It will give you some confidence and some validation. Now, Jupiter and Saturn are both waking up and moving direct this month. It's big news because Jupiter rules that luck, it rules expansion and growth and bringing all of that fortuitous energy into the mix. And so when it moves direct on the 13th, we get this beautiful boost and almost like the floodgates open, and there will be a surge of energy that you see coming from that. It's a good time to be able to kind of ride the wave a little bit with it, Leo, because Mars is also moving retrograde a few days earlier on the 9th of the month. Now, when it does, sometimes, you know, it can kind of take the wind out of our sail. It can sort of mean that we lose a little bit of focus on things, but because we've got these other big hitting planets waking up, it's almost like a rebalancing. And I think if there are things that, you know, have been waiting in the wings and that now start to emerge, it's going to mean that you don't have to force anything. You know, this is a month where you can just take stock, you can catch your breath, and you can actually let things come to you. What you need to bear in mind with that ace coming through is that there is some real supportive energy in the long term to where this can go. So if this is a new job opportunity, if this is a new prospect showing up, if this is something you want to launch, a new idea that you've got, you know, if it's a new health regime you're initiating, what you're putting in place, the energetic foundation of it, has long-lasting impact and is set to deliver real gain for you, okay? And I think that what you should feel through this month is the kind of the positive, powerful, potent energy of that, okay? You are almost with that Mars retrograde kind of having a bit of a review of your life direction. Mars in Aries is in your 9th house of expansion, so you're just wanting to make sure that, you know, the energy that you're throwing towards something is actually taking you to where you want to go. And Queen of Pentacles energy coming in here, nice earthy vibe to help ground you and keep you focused. Could also be linking into a Virgo, Capricorn or Taurus that perhaps is part of something that is brewing or initiating or beginning to emerge for you this month, okay? But really what I'm seeing is the harnessing and the embodiment of just being able to get things done and starting to really notice where you need to make some adjustments, okay? Now, one thing I will say is just be careful you don't overcommit yourself through this month, Leo, because we need to keep some energy back for ourselves. Now, one of the other notable things that's happening this month, which is going to be really positive for you, is that Venus moves into your sign on the 6th of the month, okay? Venus is all about the way that you bring comfort and stability into your relationships, into, you know, the material things around you. And because that Virgo season is illuminating your second house of material possession, then we are going to have some focus on, you know, bringing things home, just looking at your income streams, making sure that you're taking care of things, investment, planning for the future, and really noticing how your energy levels are and making sure that you're getting recognition for the value that you're bringing to something. So it is going to be a good time to be thinking, do I need to ask for a raise right now? Do I need to be kind of stepping up or kind of really looking for a promotion? Do I need to maybe strike out on my own because I've now built up a level of expertise and credibility that there is now a demand for? So remember that everything that's coming from your recognition of self, from the value that you have and the belief that you hold in what you are capable of, is what you then want to send out into the universe, okay? And for those of you with a focus in and around relationships, that also matters, because what we're seeing is start as you mean to go on. You know, the stag is stepping up in front focus here, okay? It's saying, this is who I am, this is what I have to offer, take it or leave it. You know, there's this kind of quality of just owning who you are and what you have. And almost by definition, like demanding that the energies that come and meet you at that level are offering or able to mirror that same level of value, so that you get that mutual respect, you know. And there's something that I pick up from the cards here coming through about respect that's really important, okay? I'm also seeing that you're set to make some really positive changes to your lifestyle, okay? So as we have been working with all of these planets in your 6th house, you know, in Capricorn, and there's so many beautiful earth trines that are taking place through this season, they're lighting up a little bit of that health area in your life. But what you might start to see is that you're ready to initiate the changes that are perhaps have been on your mind for some time and that you've been working on or reflecting on the last few months. You're set to see perhaps some breakthroughs in getting to the bottom of something that, you know, from a health perspective maybe wasn't particularly clear. But you're revisiting something from the past and you're realizing it and reimagining it and putting it to work in a new way that is going to be very favourable for you. What I'm seeing is reward and recognition and gain coming into the areas of your life that you are really focused upon, okay? Now, be aware that you are set to be very sensitive to energy around you this month, Leo, okay? Which means that you're going to, more than usual, like almost find yourself kind of tuning into people's thoughts, emotions and energies and kind of what they're vibing and what they're projecting and what they're giving off. And, you know, we do still have a lot of volatility. We've got a lot of kind of chaos and disruption moving in and around us. And so to recognize the shift that's taking place within yourself, just make sure that you're not committing or promising or finding yourself having to spend too much time around anyone or anything that's really draining you. It's important that you are in environments that feel very gentle and soothing and supportive and nurturing for everything that you're trying to achieve. There's something about the sustenance and the kind of the comfort factor that's bringing out the best in you, okay? And there's nothing wrong with saying, you know, I'm at my best in this kind of environment, and if this environment isn't working for me, I have to move on, or I have to seek something that I know will. And I think that you're going to have a voice and you're going to be able to demonstrate that in a much more powerful way than you have before, because there's this tremendous sense of rebalancing energy that we also invite in this month, as we have the equinox coming on the 22nd, when we're also inviting in Libra energy. Now the new moon is in Virgo, coming in on the 17th of the month, and again I'm just seeing for you something in and around that time where you're taking care of something that's really meaningful, that means a lot to you. I just think you're nurturing it, you're tending to it, and something beautiful is going to come from that. So it's a really auspicious time to be working on anything that lights you up and that you feel passionate and enthusiastic about in and around that time, okay? And a couple of days before, with Jupiter moving direct, I do think that you'll start to see something show up that's really transforming. I'm just looking at the butterfly coming up there as well, okay? For some reason, I also pick up like apologies or someone, making their way towards you very tentatively this month, Leo. So perhaps if you have kind of said, or said something like quite directly or had some difficult conversations, or perhaps you haven't been too impressed or inspired by the way that someone handled a situation. I'm not really seeing you wading in or trying to force or control, and that's really positive, because Mars retrograde does not want us to force or push or try and coerce anyone or anything. Any kind of emotional manipulation during that kind of a transit is set to backfire. So it's not what we want to do. And to be honest, I see you kind of holding quite a quiet kind of grace in the situation, and just being like, getting on with your own stuff and really focused on what's important to you. You're also going to be incredibly resourceful this month, like insanely resourceful. So, if you found in the past, like, I don't have a solution to this, I can't see the wood for the trees, I don't know how I'm going to make this work, or how I'm going to split myself in enough different ways, or I'm going to find the income that I need, or I'm going to be able to manage this new health regime and work and take care of the kids and, invest in my relationship, whatever it is that you feel is almost an impossible feat. There's something about September coming in and just grounding you and just giving you that kind of, I can do it, I will do it, and this is how I'm going to do it. So, the sense of you just making some quite big, bold moves based on a deep gut instinct and a knowing is also really going to bear fruit for you, because you're getting the balance right. So if someone is coming back in and kind of coming in on that sort of tentative level, I think you're fine. You're kind of open to it, but you're not going to let it derail you or disrupt anything that's going on. Okay, so we've got Wheel of Fortune energy coming in, very fated, and of course linked into Jupiter. I'm just looking at the lion right at the top here, just connecting into your beautiful lion energy. And there's just something about the courage and the bravery to seize an opportunity when it shows up here. Okay, so there are no coincidences. Everything is absolutely divinely orchestrated to be presented and coming in at just the right moment for you this month. And I think what it's about is you really looking at the field of experience that you have and everything that you have been through, and really utilizing that to kind of give yourself permission to say yes, because there's just something about this card where I just want to say yes. I'm all in, I'm doing it, I'm going, I'm going to say yes. And so, it's not a time to, and this is, perhaps going to feel a little bit at odds in Virgo season, who wants to dissect and make sure that, we've got a belts and braces kind of approach. And, you might have that with the Queen of Pentacles. So there is like a sense of just, doing your due diligence. However, there's also this quality when the wheel comes in that we just have to run with it. We just got to go with it. And perhaps you're just going to meet that point where it's just like, okay, it's like now or never, and if that is something that you are coming up against, and if it's in relationship or in your place of work or something that's playing out in and around your life, the emergence of that Ace of Pentacles does suggest to me the power, the strength, the almost nobility and royalty that I get with these two cards. Are saying, look, this is going to pay dividends. And it might not be straight away, so you have to be prepared for that, right? You have to be prepared that there's a process. The cycle has to complete itself. We've got to allow for the seasons to change and for things to go through what they need to, okay? But even the sunflowers here, I'm sort of linking into your sign as well. So I just think this is all working very favorably and supportively for you, okay? So expect there to be some unexpected stuff going on. Now, the full moon is in Pisces on the 2nd of the month in your 8th house of transformation. It's also sextile to Uranus. So it is bringing in that sort of unexpected charge. Now, in 8th house, it can be connected to to money, to marriages, to other people's money, the way you're using those resources. And remember what I said about that quality of resourcefulness. So there's maybe some changes coming in and around that, but they're set to work to your advantage if you play wisely. Look, we've got success coming in here as well for you. And I think that sense of you finally getting some recognition for something. And it's not that you needed it, because this isn't about trying to seek external validation. But at the same time, if you've been doing the work diligently and you've been showing up, and whether this is in your own self-growth, whether it's just within your work or professional environment or within a relationship, there comes a point where it's like,
it's about meaningful feedback. And sometimes the validation is because we just need the feedback that we're on the right track, you know? It's just like, is this where I'm supposed to be? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? And the answer through the month of September is yes, Leo. And we're going to give you more evidence and signposts that are going to help you with that. Now, there is this sort of link back to the past and perhaps almost like this slightly dreamy-like quality that sometimes that full moon in Pisces can awaken within us, right? It's a very creative time. It sort of opens up our muse and wants us to sort of daydream. And I think that's actually kind of important, you know, because there's something about you turning the dreams into reality. And that's what this kind of really beautiful blend of September can deliver for us, notwithstanding, you know, some of that retrograde energy that can be a little tricky, but overall we have this beautiful still point before we move into the next wave of eclipses. So what you're being shown, okay, that's the wheel coming in here. The universe is stepping forward and saying, hey, if you've got your thought forms locked down, Leo, if you are embodying and you are walking your talk and you are doing the work and you are expressing the energy of everything that you seek, then yes, you are going to start to see the realization of that. You are going to start to welcome the reward of that, and rightly so. So the success, the public recognition that you're looking for doesn't define you, because remember, in Virgo season, the second house illumination is about you demonstrating that level of value because you own it and you believe it for yourself. But in the adoption of that, in the embodiment of that, then you're going to start to see it showing up around you as well. And that's something to be celebrated, actually. So yeah, it's really powerful messages coming in. I really like this for you. 8 of Pentacles. It's through your focus, your hard work, your determination. It isn't a time to give up or to give in. It is a time to take stock and reflect and make sure that you're doing it the right way, because this is about you honing your craft and taking it to the next level, Leo. And if this is about relationships for some of you, it's about what is working, and let's do more of that. You know, let's not spend the time going over and over and over something from the past that isn't working to try to find a solution that isn't there. Let's draw a line and put all of our energy and time into the things that are, you know, in synergy and harmony and in balance. And then we'll create more of that, you know, and we'll allow that energy to radiate out, and that will be to the benefit of everybody. There is this sense of you having quite a lot of hard work around you to realize something, but I don't think you're afraid of that, because the difference is that September is set to show you where something's working, and that's all you need. Do you know? It's like, okay, you don't have to deliver the full manifestation, although it would be nice, yeah. But at this point in the year, it's just like, just give me something that lets me see that it's not been in vain, and that, you know, I'm on the right track. And that's what you're going to get. And that is going to give you a charge of energy that helps you to go back into that application and the learning process and becoming the student again, and really moving in a rhythm that's going to start to deliver for you. So what I would say is, if you do start to see things moving in the right direction for you, fantastic. Make sure you take a moment to celebrate, but then get right back into the process again, because it's not the time. I mean, it's a still point, yeah, but remember that we've got a lot of intensity that's set to come in between now and the end of the year. There's more challenges to navigate. There's a lot more tricky placements astrologically that are going to demand a lot of us, okay? And they're going to come in unexpectedly just when we were feeling like we were getting our breath back. So yes, take the time when things are starting to show and reveal themselves in a positive, but stay alert and return to really up-leveling yourself and allowing yourself to evolve and expand beyond, so that you're ready and prepared for the next wave of what comes in. That's probably the best advice that I can give you with regards to that. But what it is suggesting is that hard work will pay off. It will deliver fruit for you. And remember, you know, it is a time for harvest through this month of September. Oh, here we go, 7 of Pentacles, beautiful. It's a time to take stock, but it's also an assessment time where you figure out the things that are not working. Now, I'm looking here and there's some cobwebs that are shown around some of these pentacles. So there's two things that are happening here. The first is to say perhaps there's something that you have left by the wayside that you need to return to, that's gathered dust, that's sort of left or been avoided, you know, or neglected. And again, Virgo wants us to take care of the details, doesn't it? So there's something about returning to that through the month of September that's going to be really satisfying for you, because also it's got something in there that can really bear fruit for you. Okay, so it's worth returning to, you know, and that's what a Mars retrograde can also do beautifully. Now remember, your life direction is under review with that 9th house being focused upon with Mars in Aries. So you just want to make sure the direction you're traveling in is the right one. Yeah, because once the momentum starts and it really picks up a pace, you want to make sure you're heading where you want to be. So your 7 of Pentacles for some of you does suggest there might be new job opportunities on the horizon. You might be taking a change of direction, okay? This would be the time to really think about it, start to put the plans in place, and even have the discussions. And like we said, because you're being illuminated in that 2nd house of value, it's also a time to demand more for yourself, to want more for yourself in that instance. Within a relationship perspective, again, you're going to get out what you put into a situation, okay? So if you're coming at it from a negative, low, you know, critical, you're never going to change kind of a vibe, going back or casting up, you're not going to be able to see the same levels of growth that we're seeing in this reading. What you're being invited to do is suspend that judgment and really see the best in someone if you want them in your life. If you don't, then maybe it's time to take stock and really make a change and a decision around that. But if you do, then it's the recognition of we're all a work in progress right now. We're all a work in progress right now. And so we have to afford people the same level of time that we need to give ourselves to come to terms with who we've now become, following all the craziness and the change and the upheaval and the uprooting and the demands that 2020 has consistently put upon us to strip back and go deeper and expose ourselves more and more and more and become more and more awakened, okay? But there's something real and tangible here for you, and it's there to be worked on, but it's like there's a level of commitment that I see coming in that's necessary, okay? Right, 5 of Wands I think is really about the contrast that's actually needed. I mean, you may feel to a certain extent like, you know, I don't want to get involved in any drama or any kind of setback or anything that's like challenging me or pushing me or provoking me. And to a certain extent you would be right, because I don't want you to be distracted from what you can gain through this season. But at the same time, I think sometimes we need to be pushed. We need to be pushed outside our comfort zone, and maybe it's because the competition's hot on your heels. Maybe it's because somebody's saying, is there a better way? Maybe it's somebody that just doesn't, you know, want to let you get too ingrained in a particular direction or focus, because actually there's going to be something that's so much bigger and brighter and opening up for you. So at this point, expect some kind of a... Do you know what kind of comes up as, like, the phrase they give me is tripwire, but it's not meant to come in and sort of, you know, to be sneaky, right? Because I think you're going to see it. It's almost like you see the tripwire, you know, you're very aware of it coming. You might not know exactly when, but when it does show up, you're going to have like sight of it. But there's something about it, because it's just saying, just take a check, just pause, just reflect, just take a deep breath here. Is this the right way? Is this the right approach? Is this really what you want? It's like, is this really what you want? So that conflict or challenge, or, you know, even if it comes up by way of an argument or a kind of disagreement, all right? Or a situation that just feels really disruptive or unsettling, try to go a little bit deeper, Leo, okay? Because I just feel that there's something in that is like a little jewel, and we need to discover what it is, because it's going to be the key to unlocking something really powerful in terms of the direction and what you have under review for your bigger you know, journey at the moment, okay? Ten of Pentacles. Wow, we've got a lot of really strong earth energy in this reading. So I think some of you are set to see some incredible rewards through this month. There is also a bit of a link into what's happening in and around family here, okay? But I also see you just starting to make plans and really considering how you want to invest yourself, not just now but in the future. As I'm looking at the Ace and the 10 and the way that they're reflected in this reading, it's almost like you see the beginning of something now, but you're also looking down the line and saying, okay, if it grows exponentially in this way, or if it takes off in this direction, where do I want to be? You know, am I with the person that I'm meant to be with? Am I doing the job that's going to be right for me? So it's just like there's a lot of introspection and reflection time that's necessary, and you may well make some adjustments as a result of that, okay? But you kind of have a bit of lady luck on your side this month. Honestly, like I'm just, you know, picking up such a buoyancy in terms of this for some of you. Now, I appreciate it might not be all of your experiences, Leo, and if you have gone through an incredibly difficult endurance test in the last few weeks and months, look at this as energy that is available for you to tap into, okay? You get out what you put in. So if you are prepared to return to something, to be open to the learning and to the understanding and the way that Spirit wants to help you, there will be a resourcefulness that is going to show up to help you, okay? There just will be. So your levels of security are going to be very much on your mind, and I think that you're going to start to identify the ways in which you can sort of really anchor that energy in favorably for yourself, okay? We're also seeing a point of completion about something, so perhaps coming to the end point, maybe the end of a job, maybe the end of a relationship, like calling time on something, you know, following this kind of contrast or this challenge energy that we see coming in, may be a situation that plays out for some of you through this month, okay? Regardless though, I'm seeing you kind of standing really strong and actually just very focused on what's right in front of you. There's quite a present energy in regards to this. Oh, I love this. Look, Waking the Lion. Perfect for your energy, Leo. And just really looking direct, forward focused, you know, taking everything as it shows up on your path with that level of conscious, awakened knowing about what's right for you, having the courage of your convictions, knowing what you need to do to stand up for yourself, awakening something deeper within you that you know is necessary in order to continue this journey and this voyage that you're on, okay? But you are just stepping up. You're just stepping up, and I think you've probably all felt the shift as you move through your solar returns, and now, you know, moving into Virgo season, it's really the test of like, okay, can I sustain this? I understand like the skin that I shed and this new identity that formed itself, and you were really just coming to terms with that, you know, last month, and now it's about, okay, how am I going to demonstrate this, and what is it going to deliver for me in terms of, you know, what I want for myself, how I'm going to meet my wants and needs, and that sense of value, you know, really beautiful energy to work with. So these are our crystal oracle energies. We'll just see what's coming through here. Aquamarine, beautiful. I may be wrong in this, but I'm sure aquamarine does possibly link into Aquarius, which is actually your polar opposite sign. And the reason I say that is because as soon as I looked at it, I just got relationship. So for some reason, I think that this crystal, or the energy of this crystal, is important, connecting into your closest relationships, your partner, your spouse, you know, your the people who, you know, you really count on. And the energy of the aquamarine, which is very healing, very ethereal, very cleansing and detoxifying. So there might be something playing out in terms of what's happening in those close relationships and the way that you need to embody or harness that energy of aquamarine, okay? There's a lightness to this, but there's also just like a deep healing energy that I'm picking up with it, okay? So, and remember that full moon in Pisces at the start of the month is activating that 8th house of transformation. So that goes deep, you know, it's going deep into the subconscious and, you know, asking a lot of us in terms of the transformation that's required, and perhaps we're having to revisit the past, you know, the Six of Cups, and I did talk about that kind of not reactivating old wounds, but perhaps there's a necessary time to go back. And you kind of have a frog here and the butterfly. Frog medicine is very healing, butterfly very transformative, and there is that sort of very sensitive quality that I pick up that is going to be necessary for the way in which you choose to communicate. So it's about holding your own, it's about being strong and direct and really demonstrating what it is that you need, but at the same time it's having that kind of kit glove as well, so that you can tread carefully and make sure that you are protecting what is valuable to you, you know. The love that's valuable, the relationship, the connection, the emergence of this new identity that's formed within you, you know. So there's a deeply protective energy that I get coming through with that card as well. So it's also got number 7 here, which of course is just deeply spiritual too, linking into that higher expression that you're choosing to make in this way it's unfolding. So your yogic card is Vata, and here we have this beautiful waterfall of energy. Again, it's sort of linking into that aquamarine colour, flecks of gold here, and the mirroring of two people. So I think it's just further validating that I feel this is very much connected into a key relationship for you, but also what's going on between those two aspects of yourself, the light and shadow, and the way that you are choosing to come into harmony with that. Remember, the equinox on the 22nd is about that rebalancing. And as we move into Libra season with your 3rd house, it's all about the way that you think and how you choose to express that, you know, the way you're changing, rewiring really, you know, what's happening on the mental intellect. And, you know, there's just such a beautiful sense of flow with this though. So I think if you're able, you can get into this beautiful sacred rhythm through this month, Leo, and you can really realize an awful lot for yourself and start to see where things are opening up for you in a rich and meaningful way. You just need to be careful not to get distracted, but also to pay attention to the people in the areas that do require your time, energy, attention, love and healing. You know, there is the necessary kind of awareness that you're going to be required to sort of bring your energy to bear somewhere, and that there's something incredibly enriching about that for the people around you, okay? So don't be too closed off or get too isolated in terms of your focus, or kind of, you know, it's not all about all work this month. I feel like there's just something about maybe family needing you, maybe your friends needing you, or just kind of taking time out to ensure that you get that balance right in your life, okay? So if you're feeling that there's some disagreement or contrast because people are kind of vying for your time and energy, just take a check-in with yourself and really see, you know, if you do have it in the right order, yeah? So this is a general reading for the month of September. Please do check in it through the month, because these individual messages and insights are going to play out differently for each and every one of you depending on your own soul contract, and sometimes they make a lot more sense when you listen to them at different points through the month, so just have an open mind. But it is a general reading. If you would like to join me for the extended, Leo, I'm going to put the link for that in the description box underneath, and what we'll do is continue this conversation. We'll pull a few more cards to get some deeper insights, but for now just put a focus on a question that may not have been answered in this general reading, and I'll pull us a couple of cards around that for you at the moment. So alright, so we're just going to clarify this main 9-card spread now. So just beginning with that Ace of Pentacles. And here we have beautiful fire energy coming in with the Knight of Wands. Just the launch of something coming in very strongly. 2 of Coins also showing up, and the Chariot. You just do have very powerful momentum behind you. It's almost like, you know, if you were sailing, you're just got the wind very supportive in those sails, and you're just, I don't know, there's almost this quality of being able to coast and move forward a little bit. Now the Devil's coming up, could be a Capricorn energy, and particularly with that Queen of Pentacles as well, so maybe it will be a Capricorn that you're dealing with, male or female. Knight of Swords coming through as well. I've got air sign here, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra even. Okay, Queen of Swords there, yeah. of Cups bringing in the Tower. A lot of people involved in whatever this is playing out. We'll explore that a little bit more. 7 of Cups. You know, sometimes the extended just takes some interesting diversions as we go a little bit deeper into the message. So you've got Queen of Cups coming up with a Wheel of Fortune there. And Star energy. Trusting your hunch is going to be important. 7 of Swords coming up. Because maybe you're struggling to trust what's showing up for you. 4 of Wands. It's got High Priestess and Death. I think, you know, some of you are really figuring out the aspects that are not working that well for you and just making those decisions to invest yourself, your time, your energy, your money, your resources, you know, your emotions elsewhere. Of 10s coming through here at the end of the reading. Interesting. Okay, so we'll just finish up with these oracle cards. So we've got Ace of Wands coming in, Page of Wands, beautiful, and the World. Okay, Leo, thank you so much for joining me. I wish you beautiful blessings for this month, and I hope that you can tap into some of this beautiful flow that's showing up for you. If you're joining me for the extended, we'll unearth a little bit more of this and the complexities that are revealing themselves. And I'll speak to you again next month. Take good care.